Did you know one woman discovered elements that revolutionized medicine? Or that a single speech could unite a nation? History is packed with stories of extraordinary people who shaped our world in ways you won't believe. Stick around. This is the video you didn't know you needed. Albert Einstein, the genius of relativity. Albert Einstein wasn't always considered a genius. In fact, as a child, teachers thought he had learning difficulties because he asked unconventional questions and thought differently. Later, he used this relentless curiosity to develop the theory of relativity, which revolutionized our understanding of time, space, and energy. This led to extraordinary discoveries, including the famous formula, which laid the foundation for nuclear energy. In 1921, Einstein won the Nobel Prize, but not for the theory of relativity. Instead, it was for explaining the photoelectric effect, a fundamental discovery for the development of modern solar technology. Fun fact: Einstein hated socks and refused to wear them, claiming that his big toe would ruin them anyway. Marie Curie, the radiation explorer. Marie Curie was a remarkable woman who defied the norms of her time. Born in Poland, where women were barred from universities, she studied in secret before attending university in Paris. There, she discovered polonium and radium, elements that revolutionized medicine and physics. Curie was an example of courage, working with radioactive substances without protection, unaware of the full dangers. Marie Curie became the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes, one in physics and one in chemistry, a unique achievement to this day. Fun fact: Marie Curie's notes and personal items are still so radioactive that they must be stored in lead-lined boxes. Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance man. Leonardo da Vinci epitomized the universal genius. Not only did he paint masterpieces like Mona Lisa and The Last Supper, but he also sketched futuristic inventions like a primitive helicopter and a tank. He studied human anatomy by dissecting bodies, creating incredibly detailed sketches that are still referenced in medicine. Leonardo didn't complete many of his ambitious projects, but his impact on art and science was immeasurable, and Mona Lisa remains the most famous painting in the world. Fun fact: it's said that Leonardo wrote in mirror script to keep his ideas secret from rivals. Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of non-violence. Mahatma Gandhi turned the fight for India's independence into a global peaceful movement. He became a symbol of simplicity, wearing only a hand-woven dhoti and living modestly. His famous non-violent protests, like the Salt March, mobilized millions of people and undermined British domination without resorting to violence. India achieved independence in 1947, and Gandhi's method of non-violence inspired leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela. Fun fact: Gandhi often survived on just a few almonds and water daily for extended periods, believing that the mind had more control over the body than we think. Nikola Tesla, the visionary of electricity. Tesla was a brilliant inventor, though underappreciated in his time. He created alternating current AC, which became the global standard for electric power, and invented the Tesla coil, a cornerstone of wireless technology. His obsession with free energy for all led to financial ruin, but his legacy lives on in every power outlet we use. The war of the currents between Tesla and Edison was won by Tesla, as the world adopted alternating current, proving his ideas superior. Fun fact: Tesla had a peculiar love for pigeons and considered one white pigeon his spiritual partner. Martin Luther King Jr., the voice of justice. Martin Luther King Jr. was the leader of the civil rights movement in the United States, fighting for racial equality and social justice through peaceful protests. His speech, "I Have a Dream," inspired an entire generation and remains one of the most powerful moments in human history. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 marked a historic victory for racial equality, heavily influenced by King's work. Fun fact: Martin Luther King Jr. was an avid fan of the TV series Star Trek and encouraged actress Nichelle Nichols to remain on the show because it represented diversity. Abraham Lincoln, the emancipator of slaves. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, led the nation during the Civil War and fought for unity and equality. Known for his humility and integrity, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves and altering the course of American history. However, his tenure was marked by internal strife and constant threats. In 1865, the Union's victory ensured the abolition of slavery through the 13th Amendment. This was Lincoln's greatest achievement before his tragic assassination. Fun fact: Lincoln kept letters and notes inside his famous top hat because he didn't always have pockets. Cleopatra, the seductive Queen of Egypt. Cleopatra was an intelligent and charismatic leader, known for her strategic relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Fluent in multiple languages and educated in art, politics, and science, she maintained her throne during a turbulent time for Egypt. Cleopatra was a fascinating queen who combined charm with remarkable political skills. Facing imminent Roman conquest, Cleopatra took her own life using a cobra's bite, remaining an iconic figure of power and mystery. Fun fact: Cleopatra was not Egyptian by origin, but Greek, as a descendant of the Macedonian Ptolemaic dynasty. Winston Churchill, the voice of hope. During war, Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Britain during World War II, was renowned for his inspiring speeches and courage in the face of danger. Under his leadership, Britain resisted Nazi attacks and contributed decisively to Hitler's defeat. His colorful personality and combative spirit made him an unforgettable leader. His "We shall fight on the beaches" speech lifted the nation's morale during the war's darkest times. Fun fact: Churchill won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953 for his memoirs, not for his political achievements. Nelson Mandela, the symbol of peace and freedom. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison for his fight against apartheid in South Africa. Instead of becoming bitter, Mandela chose reconciliation and peace, becoming South Africa's first black president and a global symbol of justice and tolerance. His election as president in 1994 marked the official end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era for South Africa. Fun fact: during his imprisonment, Mandela was often in charge of the prison garden, where he grew vegetables and shared them with the guards. Galileo Galilei, the father of modern science. Galileo was an innovator who challenged the dogmas of his time, demonstrating that the Earth revolves around the Sun. Using his telescope, he discovered lunar craters, Saturn's rings, and Jupiter's moons. These discoveries completely transformed our vision of the universe. Despite being condemned by the Church, Galileo remained loyal to scientific truth, and his work laid the foundation for modern astronomy. Fun fact: Galileo lost his eyesight in old age, but continued working by dictating his ideas to his disciples.